This review is presented by EVDANCE and The Perfect Glass.
So we're in Portugal and we're here to drive the new Zeekr 7X. This is a D-SUV segment car and they talk so proudly about this. The presentation was very long yesterday. They've gone into the details and they really want to emphasize technology here. They are, almost breaking the forefront when it comes to technology, Zeekr nowadays, and that is interesting. It's an electric car, it's got 800-volt battery architecture, and it's very quick in charging, and that is one of the key features. You got three different type of trims on it. It's core, it's long range, and it is privilege. We're driving the privilege. This has got the 100 kilowatt hour battery. It's got 639 horsepower, 710 Newton meters of torque, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 3.8 seconds. So it's a fast car. You can get it in the core rear wheel drive. The core has a gold battery of 75 kilowatts, and that is rather new. And it can charge very quickly. So 360 kilowatt hours of charge or 480 kilowatt hours of charge. So 10 to 80%. Well, that is done in 13 minutes. They also showed 11 minutes in some Swedish West Coast 7-degree weather, which is very impressive. They also showed some figures when charging it from 10 to 80 down to 9 minutes with the 480 kilowatt that this car has got. So that is very impressive. It's got a lot of technology and they got a lot of hidden technology. Well, we can talk a little about the design. What do I think about this? I've seen it before, I've been squeezing on it before, but I really don't like the design of it. I think it's a bit too mainstream. It looks rather strong, it looks rather big, and of course the design is rather smooth, it's elegant. But still, you know what I think about SUVs and crossovers? Not my cup of tea, even though this one, well, it looks very promising. So underneath this black here, we got all that camera technology and stuff. And this is supposed to look like shades. So yeah, they want to get that grip when it comes to design of having this strip here. I don't really know what I think about it, but it's okay. You got the Matrix headlights. When you look at it in profile, well, it's got some cool stance about it. The wheel arches here, they are black. We got the 21-inch rims. You can get 19-inch, you can get 20-inch, and then you got these ones. I don't know if you can get the smaller ones on this one, but here we are with the big ones, and of course they look good. Black wheel arches around here, and this is the one that gets cut off. We talked about that earlier, and then it runs across. You got the blacked out mirrors here, camera systems that just monitors all around with that 360 camera system. Integrated handles here, you don't push them really, you push this button and then it opens automatically. But it is a little frustrating because you want to jump in and you want to pull it and there is some resistance to it. So you just need to learn that. I don't find it that convenient now in the beginning. You don't need to do everything electric just because it's a little fancy. And if you stand a bit too close to it, well, it won't open, so it won't bump into you, just for safety. And then you move away and then it opens. Of course, that's fancy, that's luxurious, that's nice. I don't know if we're that used to it, but you will get used to it. A rather muscular shape here at the back. I mean, nice, you got the buttons at the back as well. So, yeah. You just push it, you jump in, and there you are. So it's 478 centimeters in total length, so not that big, even though it looks rather big and strong. And the wheelbase is 290. At the back, well, we got this long LED ramp here that lights up. Feels like you've seen a lot of cars that looks like this, but sure, it's got its look about it. It says Zeekr here. I don't know if that is lit up. We'll have to try that out later. But let's get into the boot space and have a look in there. Okay, we got some stuff back here. Boot compartment, you got 539 liters, which is fairly good. This lip is rather flat, so you can shove things in here. And of course, down here, you got some extra space as well for your charging cables and stuff. You can rearrange a little here, and if you want to load up, you got some buttons here to lift it up and down because it is air suspension on this one. You can also fold the seats forward and then you get a lot more space. So, well, maybe a little sacrifice here, even though it's plenty enough. And the sacrifice is because there is lots of room in the back. And we're very thankful for having a frunk, 66 liters here. So yeah, it's rather narrow. You can put some stuff here. Don't know, it's plastic. It might just fly around stuff here, but still, it is a frunk. Many electric cars doesn't have a frunk, so we're always thankful for having that. 66 liters, well, that's fine enough. So inside, it feels very cozy. It feels very futuristic. The materials, well, they are recycled, and it just feels rather plush, as it does in many Zeekr cars. We just found them to be, you know, a bit futuristic, and that the materials are good. Well, just start off with the steering wheel. Feels very, very racy in a car like this. You know, it's caught off on top, it's caught off under, and then it is a bit straight here. I like that. We got the Zeekr sound speakers here. They sound extremely good. Tried them out earlier, and they are really, really nice. And they also adapt to the one that speaks. Maybe I'm speaking rather quickly and rather high tone. Well, then it enhances the volume. So really good. We got some buttons down here, you know, quick buttons for adjusting the sound, and some modes, lighting, ambient lighting all around here. You can set different colors, and then you got a lot of different storages. You can open it from different sides. This here, that is good for the passenger and for the driver. USB-C down here, a lot of space underneath. 2 induction chargers down here for your phones. And when you open the windows, well, you push it forward and it goes down. So that is just a little thing that you need to get used to. Sorry for the cameras in here in the car. You got a big sunroof that lets in a lot of light. Let's just fiddle about a little with the systems in here. So you got this cluster in front of you. If you want to change some of that, well, you cannot change that much, but you can get the information that is the most important. So yeah, you got your board computer here. You can see what type of temperature you got. The temperature in the tires, how many bars, what music, and that's it. And you can also see how it works with the regen and what gear you're in, if you're in low or if it's e-pedal drive, etc. And also when you drive, well, you get it displayed of what cars are in front of you and what car passes you, and all these cameras outside that reads out every object around the car in a very safe way. Like the stalks, very big and thick, easy to maneuver, and good feel to them. Very distinct and got some heavy feel over it. I like that. And here you got the gear lever. Put it in park, put it in drive, put it in reverse, put it in neutral, and when you drive along, you double click to get the lane assist and to get your cruise control as well. Buttons on the steering wheel, really good. Good click, distinct and nice there as well. I just like it. Very easy to get a feel for these. And then you get to this big screen. Well, you can go home by pushing on the car up there, and you just get a feel for it when you scroll about. It's not laggy, it is quick. It's updated with this new Snapdragon processor, so it works very quickly, but it isn't as fluent and smooth as in the new Tesla, actually. But this just works fine. And what do you get here? Well, you can see what is displayed. If you want to change your side mirrors, if you want to let out some air, well, then it can just open the window a little. If you want to open the doors, you can do it from here. If you want to open the sunroof and the trunk, well, all of that. So that's a good one. If you want to get into car wash mode, well, you can do that. Do something with the suspension, raise it to very high, standard or low. Well, then you can see how it moves about. Climate control, get into that, and well, you see how the air is dispersed and distributed all over the cabin here. Very many symbols, a lot of symbols here, but you know, they're recognizable, so you get into that fairly quick. And then you got some quick options here in the left menu if you want to adjust your mirrors, if you want to adjust your big head-up display, if you want to park automatically, massage seats in this one, and yeah, a lot of other things here. You can get into this menu and you can, well, you can adjust about everything, which is just good. And you can set some shortcuts, and if you want to close one door or another, then you can do that. Glove compartment, open it up. Music, heated window back there. You got all the different apps here as well. So I think it's divided into good categories here, but you need to sit with it for a little while to get into it. You got the 360 camera, 3D camera, wheel hub, and all of that, so you can park safely, you can get around tight spaces, or when driving off-road, because it's got an off-road mode. And then you can set the light. If you want to have different lights in here, well, just choose what you want. You can have it connected to the music, so it keeps the beat and flashes to that beat of the song that you're playing. And yeah, you know, we've seen this so many times. So if you find that nice, then you can do that. Lane keeping assist, lane departure warning. Well, there's so much stuff that you can just turn on and turn off. And then you got the energy management here. You can see your battery, how much you got in it, and what vehicle to load charge you might have, and the statistics of your trip. And then you got the setting for the sound system. And if you drag this one down, well, you get into the most important options when setting off. Like things that you want to shut off, like overspeed alert, driver fatigue alert, and yeah, lane keeping assist. That's a nice system. It is rather responsive. It is quicker now. I've nothing to really whine about. I think it works fairly good. There is another feature here that is really, really good. You can pull the lever here, and then if you would submerge in water, you pull that and the windows, they explode so you can swim out. Because that is, well, if you would find yourself in that situation, then it's rather difficult to open the doors and just get out. But with that ability to crush the windows, well, that makes it more safe to get out of the car. So here, a lot of space in the back, and you can also adjust the backrest. I really like that. So what we got here? Well, we got some charging outputs here. You got 2 cup holders, nice armrest. You got a ski opening here, and down here you got some extra compartment for putting stuff. Let's see, what is this? Feels a little plastic when you push it. And this one, and then you got some pockets underneath here. This is good storage. I mean, you can put a lot of stuff here, mainly for the kids if they got some, you know, like phones or a tablet or some toys. Really good. Pockets down here, so convenient storage all around. You can put your code up here if you want, and if you push this one, well, you got automatic window shades or blinds. That is really nice. I like that touch. But the seats in general, very, very soft and nice. And this is how it's supposed to feel in the back seat, according to me. You know, back seats, they are for just traveling. You should just sit here and relax. Sometimes the front seats in many cars are a lot more soft, but in this one, feels like the back seats are even more soft than in the front. So a big plus for that. They are great, and I like that you can adjust it. Tons of space here. I'm sitting in my position and look at this. I can stretch my feet underneath and I can stretch them all the way out. So it's just like a big, big limousine, this one. Just getting into the car, I immediately feel how the seating position is, of course. Very nice seats, very spongy and comfortable, rather wide, soft. Seems like it fits this type of long distance cruiser. The way I usually sit is very low, and also having the steering wheel set rather high. But you can't really do neither, to my taste really. You can't really get that low as I would like, and the steering wheel, well, it doesn't come up more than this, but you know, anyhow, doesn't matter. You want to sit high. You have a very good vision all around. That is just great. You see this muscular part of the bonnet, and I think that's somewhat what you want to feel. They talked about the design yesterday and how many hours they put into the design when they were doing it in clay. And on these smooth roads, well, you immediately feel this air suspension as you move along. It's very, very nice, very quiet, And if you just grip this steering wheel, it feels like it comes out of a race car almost. And this is the thing that's starting to pop up in many cars, and that is there's not round shape. It's more like not oval, but it's cut on different sides. It's flat on the bottom, it's flat on the top, and it's almost rather straight here on the sides. But this one, you get a perfect grip in it. And they've also done something with the buttons here. Now, more physical buttons, more direct, and the feel is just great. Setting the steering wheel, you get into the settings and just adjusting it, like in a Tesla or many other cars for that matter. So the one that we're testing out here is the privileged version. Well, it's the most powerful one. You get 630 horsepower, you got 100 kilowatt hour of battery. The range in this one is 543 kilometers, which is plenty. You can get the long range rear-wheel drive version that will go all the way up to 615 kilometers in range. And then you got the core, the step-in one with 75 kilowatt hour of battery, and that gives you a range of 480 kilometers. Fairly good, but the good thing about these cars are that they charge extremely quick.
EVDANCE is your #1 go-to online store for EV chargers. 20% discount when using the code EVD What Car. Check out the links in the video description.
Steering, just nice, very, very smooth. And I think you can set the different driving modes here. You can have the damping mode in comfort, so it becomes even more comfortable, of course. It raises in different levels depending on your speed. And when you get into sport, of course, it lowers itself for a little sportier ride. And then you can also set the air suspension height adjustment here from low to high. Well, you can get it down to very low, but you need to be at lower speeds. And this one, the privileged version, it's got an extra mode, an off-road mode, and we will also be trying that out a little later. Now we're up on a bit torn up road here, so this is where you can feel this air suspension working, and it is really soft. The only thing is that 21-inch rims, they have some profile on them. They're not super low profile. Of course, it bounces back a little, but still it feels very, very natural. The thing about it is that it feels very light in its steering, and it feels very, very responsive, almost like a sportier car in some way. It gives a really, really natural feel through this great steering wheel. I really, really love it. What mode are we in? Let's just see what type of mode we're in. Zeekr driving, there we are. There we are, we're in comfort. Let's just have it in acceleration sport, regenerative, steering mode sport. I'll just run through these and see how they feel. So we got a little more, strength to it. Still, it copes with those undulations rather well here. So yeah, 4-wheel drive, 640 horsepower. Let's just feel. Well, it is quick. It is quick. It just lunges away. And this is the thing with the previous Zeekrs, the Zeekr X and especially the Zeekr 001, there was some form of delay. Even though you were driving in sport, it took some time. So like here, let's just see the acceleration. Moves on rather quick. It's a little better in its response. Still, a slight delay, but that's also a comfort thing. You don't always need that instant acceleration, even though many just want that in an electric car, and that it is just the way electric cars should be. But I think it's rather comfortable that it doesn't throw you away super quickly, immediately in that slingshot manner. And the thing about it is that it's very relaxed. I have everything set in comfort now. Sure, we're driving over some sewer lids and stuff, but it's damped very, very nicely. It doesn't leak in that much into the cabin. It's a quiet ride, very subtle, very smooth, and just the seats, they are not as sporty as you might think. They're just comfortable. And what is it that you really want in a car like this? Well, you want comfort. You take this on long stretches of roads and on long trips. But do you need this much power? Of course, you want the 4-wheel drive. Maybe that is important for you. You can feel that the setup of the chassis is really, really nice. And even driving in this comfort mode, it is very direct in its steering and the body control. So a very pleasant ride in that way. And I think that the brakes are really, really good as well. Don't feel that regenerative sponginess to them. They're very, very direct. Driver display here in front of you. Well, you see the car, and you see oncoming cars, and you also see pedestrians as they walk by. So that is, you know, good. Do you watch this that much? Well, sometimes you do. I think it's neat, and I think it's good that you have one of these clusters in front of you. It gives you this vital information. But everything, of course, is collected here. It doesn't warn you that much when looking down here, as in many other cars. All right, so now we're on the off-road track here. Let's just see. Well, it's got an extra off-road mode, this privilege version. So how does it cope? Well, it needs to take up some speed. It's a pretty rough road, this one. A lot of roots and, well, hard parts, but it does its job pretty well, actually. And I mean, this is just all right, and this is what you will be taking this car on for the type of off-roading. I mean, this is a city car, this is a long-range car for the, well, normal roads. But if you want it, well, then you can do this, and it's fairly okay. So I think it copes rather well. The suspension, the air suspension is very soft, and it doesn't, you know, like bounce back that hard. And then as you go over 40 kilometers an hour again, well, then it goes back into normal setting. So it's good. Very good navigation. I really like it. You just recenter and get back into it. So it's the Zeekr navigation. Really well worked through that one. So if you want to set the you know, lane assist and the cruise control, you just click it twice and it goes into that, and it works fairly fine. It reads out the road, and it has also been improved with the camera system and all of that. So it becomes a very convenient ride as you drive for longer stretches. When you get it into sport, you can feel immediately how much more rapid it is in its steering. You get some more feedback from it. And we got some compression here as well. Beautiful. You know what? It's got very good and delicate sporty steering input to it. And it moves about really, really nice. It weighs a lot, of course, like all electric SUVs, but it moves on very quickly. And I think it's got a broad dynamic span from being very comfortable, setting it very high, to setting it very, very sporty. So the air suspension does a lot for this car's driving dynamics. It feels really, really fun to drive. Road here, let's just feel the acceleration for a little part. I mean, it is quick. Keeping it in line in these demanding corners makes you feel very confident if you want to drive a bit more sporty.
Winter is rough and dirty. Make sure to use high-quality car care products. The perfect gloss is just what you're looking for.
Put a little stress on the car. Here it's wide open. Let's just see. I mean, it's a lot of weight. You get on the brakes and they are there, and then you tuck it in. It's quick. It's really, really quick. Get on the brakes again. Beautiful. I think it, you know, it handles rather well. It's like it steers in. Quick and agile. And then throttle up. Good. I mean, 640 horsepower, that is a lot of power. 710 Newton meters of torque. That does a lot for a car like this, and they say it's on par with a powerful twin turbo V8 engine. So yeah, there is some sportiness to it. Okay, now we're on a B road, and we've set this lane keeping setting here. Let's see how it works. The cameras are updated. You know, they're hidden underneath this black stripe, these shades, hidden energy as it's called. On the motorway it worked rather well, and when you just indicate to the left, well, it goes out into that lane and then it accelerates up to the speed that you want. And of course it reads out the distance to the car in front of you and adapts to that speed. We're going downhill right now. We have it in one pedal drive, and the regenerative braking is in strong. So it comes to a complete stop. But yeah, we got a lorry behind us. but that works really, really good. So strong regenerative braking, and that one pedal drive, well, it just makes it a one pedal drive in a very good way. So I like that. Punch it and see how quick it can be. And I mean, the acceleration is really good. We're up to 180 kilometers an hour in just an instant. So this is a quick car, and that makes it rather fun. And what I think about it is that the performance in this one, it lines up a lot better with it because it's so much more sophisticated in its steering. As I said, from comfort to sport, it's got such a wide dynamic range in some way that I really, really like it. It feels almost, in some way, a little like a Porsche in its steering. So they've really done a good job there. Then of course it becomes heavy when you really want to throw it into one corner and into another. But the torque distribution of it really pushes it out in a good way that I don't think that the understeer is that bad for a big car like this. So it's double wishbone, 5 rear link suspension on it, and it's supposed to favor, roads that are a bit more tough because it's developed around the B roads in Gothenburg, Sweden, where we know, it can be rather rough. So I think it copes rather well, and of course it copes even better on roads that are very smooth. So it's a very relaxing ride, but it really merges together with a sporty ride. So I think they've done a lot, and that's what they really want to push on with this car, and that is the drive, being a bit more of everything. And I think that they've done a really, really good job with it. Now, I haven't been able to push it as much as I would like. It's a bit damp, you don't know the roads, and well, we can't drive that fast on all these roads because they're restricted. So this is the one that should attract most customers, they say, the privileged version, the four-wheel driven version, the one with the most power. I always vow for the rear wheel driven ones because I think that the power is enough, the range is just enough, but this one convinces me a bit more. I think it has got everything that I want from an electric car. It's got the sportiness, it's got the comfort, well, it's got all the tech in the world that you really need. Then there are some nagging parts, of course. I haven't become friends with the automatic doors, still think that I would like a manual door just to shove it out, but it becomes rather, like tough when you want to do that. So you need to push the automatic button. And standing too close to it, it just stops small frustrating things. And also, when you want to pull the window down, well, maybe it's just because I'm a little bit too hectic, but there is something. There is some sort of delay, and it's like you want to push it twice before it reacts. So a little frustrating that as well. But what they're really good at is listening to the customer. So giving that feedback to Zeekr, well, eventually they will solve that problem as well. And I think they've done a lot in this car. The system is very intuitive, it is very quick. This new navigation works just great. The menu, it is a bit what it is since before. You get into the shortcuts here if you just scroll it down. And the typing is rather small, but as always, you get into the system and the car that you have, you get to know it. So I think it's rather clean and it works rather well. And I also want to credit them for another thing. It is that it doesn't warn that much. In different cars, you might look at some direction and it starts to ring, it starts to warn, and you just get crazy about it. Here, it isn't that vigilant. I mean, it monitors you, but not in that super strict way. And also, when cars in front of you, it doesn't ring that much either. It just, slows you down. So it becomes very relaxing. So let's just feel how it feels when we drive with this lane assist on and a bit, automated drive and how it steers. Hold the steering wheel. Yeah, of course, it always wants you to be a bit vigilant and on, and then you just decrease the speed on these buttons. Good feel in these buttons. And it also sets into the right height depending on the speed to make it as efficient as possible and also as comfortable as possible. You can get this privilege version in all colors, and the colors are crystal white, onyx black, tech gray, and forest green. Forest green is really nice, and I think the colors are a bit dull, but they want to keep it, you know, subtle and discreet and elegant. But yeah, the green one is the most elegant to me. I think the other ones are a bit boring, but I think that the black version is rather cool, because then you don't get the sense of that stripe or as it's supposed to look like it's got some shades in the front there. It becomes a little ridiculous in my taste, even though I like bold design moves in some way, but on this one, not really to my taste. So the core model, the base model, well, that costs from 52,900 euros. So it's a very competitive price. You get a lot of car for that, and then you can opt for some options and some extra packs. But it's just enough with everything that it comes with standard. So I'm impressed with this one, and it's really nice. You know, that segment of SUVs so popular, and I think this will be a very, very strong alternative to many other cars on the market.